Hi. I'll tell you what happened at the Amsterdam-Paris train shooting. On a Friday afternoon, I was going from Amsterdam to Paris by train. Everything was normal until 3 passengers heard someone at the bathroom loading what happened to be an automatic rifle. Because of their military background, they recognized the sound. It didn't take long before the 3 men were prepared to fight when the gunman went out of the toilet. In their attack, one of the heroes got stabbed. In total, just 3 people got injured. When they were asked about what happened, they said they just did what they had to do. You either run away or fight. They chose to fight, got lucky and didn't die. But I think it was more than that, so let's explore what could have influenced their behaviors. We are going to pass through 4 theories that highlight different aspects of the situation they were faced with. Let's take a glance at the Latané and Darley model. This theory proposes that performing prosocial behavior depends on a logical decision-making process that includes 5 steps. First, you have to notice the event. In our case, it happened when the guys heard the loading of the gun. Second, you have to see it as an emergency. According to Shotland and Houston, perceiving an event as an emergency is led by 5 characteristics. 1. It has to be sudden and unexpected. 2. There must be a clear threat of harm to the person. 3. The harm will persist, or worsen, if no one intervenes. 4. The victim is helpless, and needs outside assistance. 5. Some form of effective assistance is possible. In our case, all the characteristics were obviously present. The third step might be the most complex one. People have to actually take personal responsibility. The bystander effect influences this process. It states that, the more people are present, the less likely people will help. But in dangerous situations, it is reduced, due to the clear emergency signs, and higher need of the victim. Fourth, people need to know what to do. If you don't know what to do, then you might think, someone else is better qualified. Luckily, who could be more prepared than a soldier, for such an emergency as the train shooting? We will see in a while. What can we do to be more prepared? The last step is to actually implement the decision of helping. As soon as the mariners heard the gun, they got ready to face the situation. We can also look at the cost-benefit model, where the decision to help is aimed to minimize their cost and maximize their benefit. Here, the benefits were social recognition, positive self-esteem and positive emotions. But the main gain this time is to survive. The costs for helping were also really high. Getting injured, or even possible death, are not off the table. Not helping could imply social disapproval. Another approach is the Schwartz theory of norm activation, which includes social norms and personal norms. The social responsibility norm might have inclined the soldiers to help the rest of the passengers because they are somewhat dependent on them. The person in the situation also has a big role. The way an individual thinks and feels about a situation would dictate his or her further reactions upon it. In our case, the soldiers might have developed a moral obligation for reacting in such violent situations, where the fight response is preferred. Another model we can use to explain that is the negative state relief model. It considers the motivation behind actions as egocentric reasons. Our heroes may felt highly stressed and aroused. Those negative emotions triggered them to solve the situation, reducing their stress and making them feel better. Now that we know about what probably caused the prosocial behavior of the 3 gentlemen, we need to investigate if we can promote these kind of acts. We have to keep in mind that the 3 heroes all had a military background. Due to their training, they probably knew how to handle such a stressful and dangerous situation. Focusing on the 4th step of Latané and Darley's model, knowing what to do can be enhanced by training, just like other skills, such as sports. But, in fact, we can use training to promote prosocial behavior too. An example of a behavioral training is the self-defense training for women, which is used to prevent or minimize the effects of sexual assault. These trainings increase assertiveness, self-esteem, combat skills and perceived control over the situation. while it reduces fear and anxiety. It also makes women feel more angry and especially less scared in a sexual assault situation. This is relevant, because if you feel confident about defending yourself, then you can also defend others. Another example is moral courage training. Moral courage is a prosocial behavior which enforces social and ethical norms, without considering the possible social costs for the perpetrator. This kind of behavior is influenced by nearly the same mechanisms as the ones involved in our heroism case. Researchers have established a training which promotes moral courage, and focuses on coaching people with practical knowledge and behavioral routines, so their reactions can be fast in emergencies. Behaviors can be as simple as calling the police, informing other bystanders, or how to get others to help you. Apart from learning what to do in a situation, these trainings also help improving step 2 and 3 of the Latane and Dali model. Overall, after the workshop, participants perceive themselves as more competent, and report more self-efficacy in such kind of moral courage demanding circumstances. Research on moral courage and sexual assault have already shown that training interventions help to perform the desired behavior. In our story, there might not be a clear and optimal option to stimulate the prosocial behavior. Probably because these situations are uncommon. But, 4 brilliant students proposed to make a new training to promote the heroic behavior in our case. This new training will include self-defense and moral courage aspects, and the combination will stimulate individuals to engage in prosocial, heroic behaviors. Then, we can all go and save the world.